Words so sharp, they cut right through. Real talk for the soul's appeal. Prayers rise up the wounds they heal. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. Each step brings another fight. Breaking chains, we're seeking light. Voice of power won't be tamed. With His love, we're never ashamed. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. From the ashes we shall rise. Hope is found deep in our eyes. Every word a battle cry. With the Father none deny.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise, and today we got a great show, man. We got a great show to get into. I'm sure you guys seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, so you know what time it is. Happy Friday Eve to each and every one of you guys. It is freezing cold out here in the DMV area. We're staying bundled up as much as we can. Ice patches all over the daggone place. It's a mess. The spring and summertime can't get here soon enough. It just can't. But how's everybody doing today, man? In the chat, one, let me know how you guys are doing today. Two, let me know where you're tuning in from, city, state. I'm so proud and happy that you guys are here chopping it up with me this evening. I'm really, really excited, man. We got a lot going on. Shout out to you, sister. What's the name? Is it Deliha? Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. Delilah? Maybe I'm pronouncing that. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, and I apologize. But appreciate the you, sister, for catching the live stream today. Appreciate you, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to get into. We got LA in the building. Shout out to the mods, T.A. Caskey, Zephyr in the building. Appreciate you guys pulling up as always, modding. I do ask that you guys keep it peaceful in the chat, but this is a free speech. This is a free speech channel. It's a free speech chat. So just keep it civil, but civil discourse is extremely important. Extremely important. Appreciate all the blues pulling up. Shout out to Terry M out of Northern Colorado in the building. Appreciate you pulling up today. We got Canada. We got Joni from Waco, Texas. First time catching the live. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you pulling up today. That is awesome, man. We got Villages, Florida in the building. You know, Chris Rotman out of Canada, man. I know it's freezing cold. It's cold here, so I know what it's like up there. Goodness gracious. We got LA. How you doing out there, V-Diggy75 out there in the Los Angeles area? Hopefully all is well with you and you're not being impacted, you know, tremendously by the fires. You know, well wishes and everything to the folks out there in California. Shout out to, you know, my girl Lige. It's been a little bit since I talked to her, but she lives out there in California as well. Shout out to you, sister, man. We're all thinking about you. We're all praying for you guys out there in Cali. You know, we may not agree with all of the politics out there, but they're still American citizens, and we got a lot of love for them as well. You know, out there, you know, condolences to those that have lost people. You know, rest in peace to those, you know, that have perished due to the fires out there. But it's nothing but love, from myself and the people around here. We get it. We understand. We definitely do. All right. We got Gord Peterson in the building. Shout out, man. Appreciate you. The other thing, make sure you guys hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. Super chats, super thanks. They will stop the show. If it's a super chat, it will stop the show. You will get read. Your support of the channel is greatly appreciated. I promise you it's greatly appreciated. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, you can join the ARP family. That is one way. Or you can buy your man a coffee. Link is in the description box below. It is there. So if you'd like to support the channel, but the best way, the number one way to support the channel is hit the like button, watch the stream all the way through, and share this content with people who need to see it. That's one of the best ways to support the channel. All right. So if you guys are ready to get started, let's get after it.
Can you give us a question? No, Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give
is
us a
terrible.
chance
Let's
to ask
go.
a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's asking
categorically,
a question.
Mr.
Don't be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not
Go ahead.
appropriate.
Oh my goodness. That clip never gets old, man. It doesn't get old. Hey, it's big trouble in paradise. Big trouble in paradise for liberal corporate media. Now, we know that for a long time, they've been a cornerstone of American culture for decades. And now they're on the verge of epic collapse. And let's keep it real, man. It's been a long time coming. This didn't start with Trump, though. Yes, he definitely exposed their weaknesses, but for years, leftist media outlets like CNN and MSNBC, they've struggled to adapt to the digital age. And then Trump came along, and ironically, he became their lifeline. You guys know that, right? He became their lifeline. They hated him, but they needed him. This dude has been a ratings goldmine for these folks. Every anti-Trump article, every, over-the-top panel kept the lights on for these folks. But sugar highs don't last. And once Trump left office, so did the audience. The nonstop negativity got old and the outrage machine ran out of fuel. Now they're paying the ultimate price. According to CNBC, CNN, and NBC are reportedly laying off hundreds of employees. Hopefully that doesn't include Scott Jennings over there at CNN, but they are laying off hundreds of employees. The fall of the liberal media empire is here. And honestly, it's hard to feel sorry for these folks. It is. It's hard to feel sorry for them. CNN, they are bracing themselves for massive layoffs. As new CEO Mark Thompson looks to pivot towards a global digital audience, cutting costs and streamlining operations. Part of this includes relocating some New York and DC-based shows to Atlanta for efficiency, and because it's a whole lot more friendlier from a cost perspective down in the South than it is paying people to live up in New York and DC. Y'all know how expensive it is in the DMV, especially up in New York City. So just by forcing people to move south, they can either cut some wages or hire people at lower wages so they can save money right there. Meanwhile, NBC News is also planning a smaller scale layoff with fewer than 50 positions being affected. The Washington Post, the Associated Press, they've already announced workforce cuts to manage financial losses as well. Thompson has reportedly urged CNN's big name like Jake Tapper and Anderson Cooper to tone down the Trump obsession and focus on real journalism, which is something that I would assume is going to be extremely difficult for these folks. But it is a clear sign of the network's struggles. Ratings are in the tanks, and with Fox News dominating major events like the inauguration, it's leaving CNN far behind. And let's not forget their self-inflicted wounds like the Russia collusion hoax, burying the Hunter Biden laptop story, and now resorting to cheap shots like calling Elon Musk some form of Nazi. People are tired of the lies. People are tired of the bias, and it shows. It shows in the numbers. And if you guys catch me looking to the right, because I am looking at the chat and I'm also trying to focus on you guys as well. But, you know, it just, for whatever reason, man, these people, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Jim Acosta, you know, the Trump critic, he had a meltdown grilling Congressman Tim Burkett over Trump's pardons of January 6 protesters. Burkett clapped back, calling out CNN's hypocrisy, pointing out that they were silent when Biden pardoned violent offenders. It was a mic drop moment, yet Acosta doubled down, spinning the same tired narratives once again. I mean, it's classic CNN. It's classic CNN. And we got to stop the show real fast. Shout out to JDS Corpio. Let me throw this in there. Scott Jennings is the only reason CNN is getting views. And sir, appreciate the $5 super chat. And I would definitely agree with you there. Scott Jennings is the man. I'm sure a lot of the contributors over there, they don't care for that guy, but he is probably the only reason to watch CNN right now. He really is. But I appreciate the support, man. Definitely.
I'm asking you, why can't members of your party just tell the president when he's wrong? Why can't you do that?
You spent 4 years making
What are you
excuses
afraid
for
of?
a fellow with Alzheimer's in the lead office in this country.
Congressman,
and
you and I
him
know,
and putting
you and
him
I
in
talked
office.
about this. We raised questions about that time and again on this network, on this program.
No, they did not. They did not raise any questions. Matter of fact, anybody that they would allow on the show, like Mayorkas and other people out there, they parroted what they said, that, you know, Biden is super sharp. We're struggling to keep up with him, so forth and so on. These people, they need to stop the foolishness, man.
All made
I'm asking
excuses
you a
for him
question.
for 4 years.
Is
You elected
President
him.
Trump responsible? Is he responsible if some of these offenders reoffend? What happens if one of the Oath Keepers of the Proud Boys goes out there and hurts somebody? And they were involved on January 6th and were put in prison, and Donald Trump released them. Isn't he then responsible for that? Isn't he responsible if somebody gets hurt?
I would say if they're Trump-appointed judges, they will go to jail. But if they're Joe Biden-appointed judges or Soros-backed DAs, they'll probably walk, as they do in New York and the rest of the country. As we saw during the Black Lives Matter marches, we saw in the riots all across the country, those people walked. Nobody went to jail for that. Millions upon millions of dollars of property was damaged. You all didn't raise a finger, didn't say one word about it.
Congressman,
you
that's
showed
just
it and
not
said,
true.
"Oh, it's all in order." You showed we had riots where towns were burning down, and they were allowed to do it. They were allowed to do it, and you all did not. Oh, you covered it, Jim. Come on, Jim.
All day
you gave
long.
it the bare modicum of coverage, and then you went on to trashing
I was at
Trump
the
or
White
some
House.
conservative cause.
I was at the White House covering the first Trump administration when they had rioting outside of the White House. I mean, that was covered on CNN. What you're saying, this is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah.
This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim. Look, I left the White
Yes. Yes. Hey, shout out to Edmar Acosta at midnight. It's a great time for him. You are absolutely right. This dude's a clown, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Man. Hey, he's not wrong, man. He is not wrong. Hey, Jim, maybe spend less time worrying about people's opinions and more time fixing your own network's collapsing credibility. Seriously. And they wonder why no one's watching these people anymore. No wonder no one's watching them. And what makes it even funnier is that CNN quietly is burying Jim Acosta in the graveyard shift. Shout out to you, Ed. They're moving that dude's show to midnight. Hey, nobody's watching it right now anyway, so moving it to midnight, it might be an improvement, to be honest with you. I mean, that's their way of saying that, hey, we're not going to fire you, but we definitely don't want you. We don't want anyone seeing your face. Hey, this is hilarious. I mean, this guy is the walking definition of propaganda. Seriously. He is the walking definition of propaganda. You guys got to see this, man. You guys got to see this.
Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah.
This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth. It's an alarming choice for a man who has often struggled to unequivocally denounce white supremacists. You recall these moments.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Those words have power. They have meaning. And when Donald Trump speaks, the world listens. Neo-Nazis and white supremacists certainly listen. So why can't he denounce them? Why can't he reject their support?
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
What's your response to Donald Trump saying she should be fired, that Liz Cheney should be fired upon? He keeps speaking in these very extreme terms about the potential dangers to the country if he doesn't win in November. He's used words like bloodbath.
Maybe CNN thinks that moving Jim Acosta to midnight will shift their credibility or help to fix their credibility problem. But let's keep it real, man. Their issues, it runs way deeper than this clown. Way deeper. This is a network in full-blown panic mode right now. They've tried everything, streaming services, paywalls, digital pivots. It's all flopped. You guys remember the CNN Plus? How many of y'all paid for CNN Plus? Huh? How many of y'all paid for CNN Plus? I wouldn't give them $1. I mean, that disaster, it didn't last a month. Now they're pouring $70 million into another digital push. I mean, do they really think that people are going to pay $4 a month to hear another Brian Stelter clone rant about Elon Musk? Come on, man. The real problem is this. CNN is completely out of touch with the American people. And while Fox News is covering issues like the border security and inflation, CNN is stuck in an endless Trump bashing cycle. These people suffer from Trump derangement syndrome like no other. And people are over it. And let's not forget their fake neutrality. They claim to just report the facts, but everyone knows it's a network full of activists. I mean, look at Don Lemon, and I know he's not there anymore, but look at Don Lemon. This dude got fired, then immediately went full left-wing TikToker. CNN could fix this. I mean, they've got Scott Jennings. They could fix it. They have Scott Jennings, who actually resonates with viewers. But that's not enough. If they brought in a couple of conservative hosts and added some balance, they might steal some of Fox's viewers. They might steal some of Fox's shine, but they won't. And here's why. This is why they won't make that move.
Trump orbit has been really good, and his impact on the country is really good. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I know these kinds of announcements are important to presidents. These kinds of investments are important to new administrations. But, you know, I would listen to Elon. I mean, he's obviously got some information and some opinions about this, and I don't know how much of this is going to be aired in front of and behind the scenes. But
Elon Musk keeps on overshadowing Donald Trump. I mean, you had in the inauguration that it was the hand gesture, quote unquote, that is the subject of great mystery and debate. Yeah, the subject of great mystery and debate.
Are you talking about, you're not one of these salute truthers, are you?
No, is that what we're calling it now? All I'm saying is, no, but what I'm saying is it engendered a great...
Hey, that's why they will not give Scott Jennings a daggone show. But he should. Scott Jennings should have a primetime anchor spot. It would probably be the biggest show on CNN to date. It would. If Scott Jennings got his own show, it would be a huge show. Scott Jennings gets all the shine on X. He gets all the shine on X. No one's checking for anybody else except for Scott Jennings over there at CNN, except for when the morons spew out something stupid. Outside of that, That's it. Scott Jennings, I mean, this guy, he's sharp, he's articulate, he actually connects with the people. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, but CNN, they're going to stick with the same old faces. Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, Caitlin Collins. They're going to stick with these same people. And I would assume it's probably because Scott Jennings doesn't check one of those boxes. He's not a woman. He's not part of the alphabet community, so forth and so on. He doesn't check those boxes. So that may be the reason why he can't get a show, even though his name resonates and his name is ringing all throughout X, all throughout YouTube. That right there, it should be a no-brainer. And thank you, Zephyr. Please make sure y'all hit that like button for me. But none of those folks that I just mentioned, the Jake Tapper, the Anderson Coopers, the Caitlin Collins, none of those folks are moving the needle. None of them. Imagine Jennings in a primetime slot. He doesn't talk down to viewers or act smug like so many of these anchors. He actually debates, he listens, respects his audience, and even has a great sense of humor. Dude's hilarious. He's funny as all get out, man. He could bridge the gap between the left and the right, and maybe even challenge Fox or NBC. But CNN won't do it, man. They won't do it because that would mean admitting that they've been wrong all along and they don't have the guts to step out of their anti-Trump bubble. So CNN's collapse, it isn't shocking, man. They refuse to change and they're paying the price. Meanwhile, platforms like Rumble, Substack, podcasts, thriving because they offer what corporate media doesn't, and that's authenticity and honesty. And people value knowing where someone stands. They really do. They don't like the people that, lick their finger and throw their hand up in the sky and see which way the wind blowing. They don't like that. Stand on something. People appreciate that. Whether it's Tim Pool, Shapiro, or even, Cenk Uygur. I'm not a fan of his, but at least you know where he stands. We're not pretending to be neutral reporters. We share the news and our opinions honestly. Even for me, what you see is what you get. Some people like it, some people don't, but you're going to get the truth. I'm going to tell you what I think. You're going to hear what I think. And honestly, that's what makes the liberal mainstream media, or that's the thing that the mainstream media lacks. They lack that. None of these people are authentic. They definitely don't come across that way. And a lot of them come across, extremely smug with their nose in the air, looking down upon us peons, thinking that they're better than the regular American people. Remember when that woman went on CNN claiming that Trump would deport her, even though she was a naturalized citizen? I mean, it's just classic foolery. People are done with the lies and the bias, and honestly, honesty matters. And the media, they just don't get it, man. They just don't get it.
Because I'm a naturalized citizen, and Stephen Miller, who is Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, has said that they're going to embark on a denaturalization program. So I could be deported, my citizenship could be taken away, and my children could be deported because they have birthright citizenship. So this is not what the country voted for. Let's be very clear. Americans voted for Trump because of groceries, because of lowering costs. He has not talked about that one bit. What this country did not vote for is to deport the 11 million undocumented immigrants who do critical work for our economy, who have injected $7 trillion into our economy. And what Americans want is a solution to immigration. They want expanded legal pathways, and they do want more stronger, smart border security, which is exactly what Democrats are talking about. And Democrats have always been the ones willing to work with Republicans on a solution, and it's been Republicans that have always pulled the rug from under our feet.
Wow. This lady is full of sugar honey iced tea. Shout out to my guy Van, but that lady is full of it. That right there, that little diatribe, it says it all. Legacy media is dying because all they do is lie. The American people voted to get these daggone illegal immigrants out of our country. We definitely voted for it. Yes, we want to see the grocery prices come down. Yes, we want to see the daggone gas and oil prices come down. Of course, we want to see that. But we also want these people out of our country that has just taken advantage of the resources that should be given to American citizens that find themselves in need. There's nothing for people, our veterans, our homeless veterans, and our homeless Americans that actually need these resources. There's nothing for them right now because they're giving it away to all these daggone illegal immigrants. So whether it's the Covington Catholic students, the Jussie Smollett, hoax, or twisting the Supreme Court decisions. I mean, these outlets, they've been called lying, exaggerating, or just outright fabricating details to push their agenda for a long time. Crisis at the border? What crisis? Migrant criminals? What migrant criminals? I mean, they act like it's all fine, like none of this stuff is actually happening. These people are ridiculous, man. And if you point out the obvious, like, sure, not all migrants are bad, but there's cartels, there's fentanyl, gang members setting up shop, you're instantly labeled a racist or a xenophobe. Before I get into the next clip, everybody's talking about the migrant crime and things of that nature, and that is terrible. But the amount of fentanyl that has come across our border and that has taken the lives of American citizens is unfathomable. Yes, there's been these illegal immigrants that have come across here and they've committed crimes, heinous acts. But even that doesn't compare to the amount of overdoses due to fentanyl in this country. It doesn't compare. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people have lost their lives due to overdosing on fentanyl. And they're literally putting it in everything. I mean, it's awful, man. It is awful. There's a sign out around the way from me. I live not too far away from one of the satellite police stations, up my way. And there's a sign outside the police station that ticks up every day that shows the amount of overdoses and the amount of deaths due to overdoses. It is heartbreaking. It is awful. Every day that number goes up. Every day that number goes up. For whatever reason, no one's talking about it for real. This fentanyl it's a huge crisis all across the country. It's not just in what they would say middle America or, the Appalachia or some of these places. It's in major cities as well. Think about the actors that have already passed due to fentanyl overdoses. It's awful, man.
Of the shelters where migrants with canceled CBP-1 appointments were brought by the Mexican authorities. Here they receive food, a bed to sleep, and most importantly, a safe place to stay in this border town of Ciudad Juárez. Many migrant spirits were crushed after they discovered that the CBP-1 app was canceled. The dreams of thousands of migrants are now stuck on the U.S.-Mexico border, and many migrants said that they might try other ways to get to their final destination in the U.S.
The media cries about the dreams of migrants, stuck at the U.S.-Mexico border. But what about the dreams of Americans? What about the families in North Carolina who got $700 to rebuild after a hurricane destroyed their homes and their lives, while billions in taxpayer dollars go overseas? Do these people even matter? Where were the reporters when 300,000 missing children went ignored, or flights full of undocumented men from prisons and mental hospitals landed in the dead of night? Or when hotels were taken over with no documentation? Now they're freaking out over mass deportations, calling it drastic. Maybe if they'd be honest about the border crisis under Biden Harris, that administration, maybe they would have felt the pressure to act instead of, what we got. We over the past 4 years, man, we got an open border that is just outrageous. I mean, cartels and dangerous criminals pouring into our country, bringing in drugs. And now Trump is saying enough is enough. Promises made, promises kept. And the American people, 77 million people, supported this. Deportations are underway, and sanctuary cities like Boston are fuming. The media paints every deportation as a heartbreaking tragedy, ignoring that many are here illegally, some with criminal records. But what about the cruelty of open borders that led to exploitation and trafficking and deaths? What about that? I mean, sorry, but this outrage, honestly, it's 4 years too late. 4 years too late, man. Shout out to you, man, Reverend Ernie, man. Appreciate you pulling up today. God bless you as well, brother. Appreciate you pulling up.
Back to Haiti. One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is
Tom Homan said it would happen. That's exactly how it would happen. But they told us that no criminals are coming through here. That's what they told us. Let's talk about the reality on the ground in Boston right now. Let's talk about that real briefly, because it's painting a very different picture. Fox News got an exclusive look at ICE's operations, and what they uncovered is shocking. To be honest with you, it's beyond shocking. ICE in Boston is targeting the worst of the worst, MS-13 gang members, murder suspects, and even a Haitian gang member with 18 convictions. I mean, this guy had the nerve to curse out Trump on camera saying he ain't going back to Haiti. And F Trump. Biden forever. Y'all heard him. Well, guess what? He's definitely going back, whether he likes it or not. And these aren't just random people. They're real threats. They're real threats to society. And many of them were let loose by sanctuary policies, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. But ICE isn't messing around with these people, man. They're finding these criminals no matter what. And meanwhile, over in Chicago, another sanctuary city, ABC7 is catching heat for airing a segment practically giving illegal migrants a playbook on how to avoid ICE. I mean, this is beyond insane. You cannot make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up. They're literally giving these people a playbook as to how to they daggone avoid ICE. These people are outrageous. They really are, man.
ICE to target schools and churches in its deportation raids. He is revoking a directive excluding arrests in so-called sensitive areas. Chicago's immigrant community on edge tonight as Michelle Gallardo reports. Activists and elected officials are canvassing neighborhoods, letting people know their rights should ICE come knocking.
Up and down Cermak Avenue today, business after business prominently displayed the same flyer. Don't open for ICE. Little Village business owners telling us it's the least they can do.
La gente debe estar unida
People need to stick together, no matter their immigration status, says Jose Luis Vasquez, who's owned this computer and phone repair shop for 9 years now. A few blocks away at the Little Village Arch, a handful of activists braved the sub-zero wind chills to rally against the Trump administration's stated plans to conduct mass deportation raids in Chicago.
That's crazy, man. These people priorities are jacked up. Priorities out of whack. Seriously. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. We're at a point now where news outlets are giving tips to criminals on how to avoid ICE. ABC7, a major news station, is out here practically coaching criminals on how to dodge the law. This is peak insanity, man. This is peak insanity. You can't make this stuff up. Do you think these people can be charged, as accomplices? Could that happen? Could they be charged as accomplices? Aiding and abetting fugitives? I mean, honestly, no matter how much you criticize the mainstream media, it's never enough, man. And then you've got activists chiming in with the same tired lines. Illegals aren't criminals. Illegals aren't criminals. But let's not pretend that there aren't some serious threats slipping through the cracks. Let's not pretend. I mean, come on, man.
The operation begins before dawn. Agents with ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who asked us to conceal their identities, gearing up at a parking lot in suburban Boston. We're along for the ride.
We don't do large-scale roundups. Every individual that's here today has come to our attention because they've been arrested by a local municipality for a felony or an egregious crime.
So after several hours of waiting, they've just found one of their targets, and we're on the move. When we arrive, we see an immigrant from the Dominican Republic who ICE says is here illegally and is a convicted sex offender. He tells me he came to the U.S. for a better way of life and denies the charges against him. He's led away in handcuffs. ICE agents had been watching this particular subject for at least a week. On this day, it took about 16 ICE agents to arrest 5 immigrants who ICE says are undocumented, have criminal records, and had been released on bail by local jurisdictions instead of being turned over to ICE, each requiring 40 to 80 hours of surveillance beforehand. Do you have enough resources to do this?
No, we don't. And that's one of the problems that, when jurisdictions don't cooperate with us, we have to go out into the community, which puts our officers at risk.
But these are the waning days of the Biden administration. President-elect Trump won, pledging to do much more, including mass deportations. And after Democratic city and state officials vowed to block Trump's deportation plan, incoming border czar Tom Homan is doubling down with this warning.
If they cross that line and knowingly harbor and conceal illegal alien, well, I'm going to seek prosecution.
I am concerned of what a mass deportation would look like for them.
Attorney Valerie Napier is an immigrant advocate who says calls to her clinic have tripled since Trump was reelected.
What do you say to those people who voted for Donald Trump and wanted a crackdown in the immigration system?
And not everyone is a criminal.
We pressed ICE about its current mission. There are some who fear that ICE will also arrest, immigrants that are here that may not have criminal records. To that, you say what?
To that, what we are focused on is obviously public safety, national security threats. But then there are those, too, that have exhausted all legal means. In the end, they've been ordered legally removed from the United States, and we'll go ahead and effect those removal orders.
2 U.S. officials tell NBC News.
You know what? I don't want to hear about ICE raids or mass deportations from the same people who stayed silent while the Biden-Harris administration let criminals flood law-abiding American neighborhoods. I don't want to hear it. For 4 years, they ignored the, convicted offenders, gang members, and drug traffickers crossing the open border because it didn't affect them. And now Trump's in office deporting criminals, and they're suddenly outraged. I mean, come on, man. You can spare me the spare me the tears. The mainstream media, they didn't care for years, could care less. But now they want a virtue signal. I'm not here for it, and I don't want to hear it. Trump is getting results. Once again, I say promises made, promises kept. Trump is setting a standard. He is setting a precedent for politicians not to just talk the talk, but walk the walk, man. He said that day one, I am doing X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3, and he is checking the boxes. He is setting precedents. Border Patrol encounters have dropped by over 40% since Biden left office. 40%. That's a major drop-off. 4,000 in his final days in comparison. Right now, it's fewer than 2,400. And on top of that, Trump has deployed already 1,000 additional troops to the southern border, joining 22,000 National Guard members that are already there. Actions speak louder than fake outrage. Once again, I say promises made, promises kept. The American people are watching. Trump is setting precedents of how every politician that wants to vote from an American citizen, you better show and prove. You better show and prove. Because if not, you'll be up out of there ASAP.
This morning, the first 1,500 U.S. troops are arriving at the southern border as President Donald Trump launches his long-promised crackdown on immigration. The active duty Army soldiers and Marines deployed to address what Trump declared is a national emergency. The Pentagon says the troops include military police units, combat engineers, and intelligence specialists who will aid with detection and monitoring. The military will also help construct new barriers along the border and provide air power for deportations. A senior defense official saying, "This is just the start. We are anticipating many further missions." President.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The troops at the border aren't just for show. Man, they're building barriers, flying military aircraft, and even assisting with deportations. I mean, this isn't talk, man. This is action. This is the action that we voted for. This is the action that 77 million people voted for. And to be honest with you, some of the other folks that didn't vote for it, they're seeing and they're saying, thank you. Finally. Trump's plan is crystal clear. Don't come here illegally. Don't do it. He's already signed an executive order directing Homeland Security, the DOJ, and the State Department to fast-track deportations and end Biden's disastrous open border policies. Remember the Biden-Harris era. They spent years inviting illegal immigrants, practically rolling out the daggone red carpet, the welcome mat, whatever you want to call it. During the Democratic primary debates, they were competing over who could be the wokest, telling migrants to come. Then when the chaos hit, they backtracked saying, oh, wait, don't come. I wish I would have pulled that clip up. But whatever it is, it is whatever it is. It is what it is at this point. But I mean, it's total mixed signals from these people. And Trump's approach, it's simple. It's simple. If you try to enter here illegally, you're going to be turned around. If you're here illegally, causing chaos, you're out. End of story. And guess what? It is working. Even before Trump took office, illegal immigrants were already deciding it's not worth it and turning around and going back to wherever they came from. And now the results are even better than some expected. Take a look at this, man.
Migrants are already choosing to leave the country voluntarily. News Nation's Jorge Ventura joins us live from San Antonio, Texas this morning with more on this story. Jorge, how many migrants are we actually seeing doing this, leaving voluntarily?
Right now, Marky, it's unclear, but we are starting to see a trend, and this comes as cities across the U.S. and Mexico are now bracing for President-elect's deportation operation. But his hardline messaging on those deportation efforts have some migrants panicking and some even choosing now to self-deport back to their home countries. I spoke with immigration attorney Rolando Vasquez, who tells me that some of the immigrants that he represents that entered under the Biden administration are now choosing to return home, fearing deportation under the incoming administration.
just as recent as yesterday, they notified me that they were going to depart the country voluntarily. And understanding that, the Trump administration is going to carry through on their promises.
And it's not just Trump's deportation plans that are influenced these decisions. Vasquez says it's also that Mexico is now open to accepting non-Mexican deportees. Mexico's move would impact Cuban and Venezuelan migrants the most, since those countries typically do not accept deportation flights from the U.S., but may from Mexico.
This is causing for many migrants to leave on their own, knowing that they're either going to be deported to their home country or be deported to Mexico. And they obviously, the overwhelming majority of them do not want to be in Mexico.
And my sources in Mexico tell me that it's likely that cartels and smugglers will exploit, kidnap, and extort those newly deported migrants. As of right now, it's unclear if Mexico has a plan to protect those deported migrants, Marky.
Yeah, border's about to change on Monday. At least that's what voters were promised. Jorge Ventura, thank you so much, live from San Antonio.
Yeah. So even before Trump took office, his presence alone started cleaning up the mess Biden and the Democrats created. Now, we're seeing a return to law and order at our borders. And Trump's policies aren't just about deportations. They're about restoring the rule of law and sending a clear message: America controls its borders. Not the cartels, not the criminals, not Mexico, not Canada. America controls its borders. This isn't just about the border, though. It's about protecting American families and communities. It's a message to the world: respect our laws or face the consequences. And no matter how much the Democrats and their media allies try to spin, emotional stories, tugging at the heartstrings, Americans aren't buying it anymore. We've experienced 4 years of this madness. It hadn't worked out well for us. So when law-abiding citizens see these deportations, they feel relief, not pity. This is exactly what they voted for. Sanctuary city policies have put Americans in danger for years, protecting criminals over citizens. Trump's administration is finally putting Americans first, protecting women, children, and hardworking families by taking criminals off the streets. This is what MAGA is all about, man. Promises made, promises kept. I don't know how many times I've said this today, but promises made, promises kept. Trump is setting precedent for all politicians to follow. The left can whine, but the American people are behind this 1,000%. Trump is delivering, and it's making a real difference. He's making a real difference, man. People thought he was playing. They thought he was playing. I think a lot of people on the left thought he was playing. I think they hope he was playing when he said that I'm doing all of this day one, because they would use it against him. Well, he told the American people for 2-3 years that he was going to do this, and where are these executive orders? Where are they? Man, he stepped in and got to work. Trump's got to be one of the hardest working presidents we've seen in quite some time. Seriously, he's got to be one of the he's one of the hardest working men that I've seen in a long time. I don't know how he does it, man. This guy is almost 80 years old, and it's like, he's like the Energizer Buddy. He doesn't sleep, it seems like. This dude is getting the job done. Wow. I'm impressed, man. In the chat, man, put a 1 in there, man. If you guys are impressed so far, we're not even through the full week one. We're halfway through week one of the presidency for the second time around for President Trump. And I'm extremely impressed with what I've seen so far. Have we had a politician? He's got to be one of the first politicians in quite some time that is standing on everything that he said thus far. Promises made, promises kept. I'm 1,000% with it. 1,000% with it. Goodness gracious, man. It's freaking awesome, man. It is awesome. It is awesome to see. I want to open it up today. It is Thursday. Normally, I like to open it up for the chat and for people to come in. If anybody wants to join the chat for a little bit, and I appreciate you guys putting the one in the chat for sure. I'm gonna drop a link in the box here. Anybody that want to pull up, you don't have to turn your camera on. I do ask that you keep a PC. You know what I'm saying? Don't jump on here, start cursing and carrying on. But anybody that wants to pull up, say a little bit of something, man. Give me your 2 cents. I would love to hear from you. Link is in the chat right there, man. If you got a camera, cam up. I do ask that you turn the stream on or mute it or something in the back. But I'd love to hear from you guys, man. The link right there is in the chat. And, pull up for a quick second, man. Come say what's up. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. One, about Trump's, first half week in office. If you're with it, if you're not, if you think he should be doing more, I'd love to hear from you guys. What's going on with you, NPO Creations? Appreciate you pulling up today, as always, sister. Appreciate you. Shout out to the mods, man. I appreciate you guys, keeping things civil. If you have not hit the like button already, please make sure that you hit the like button. Please make sure that you do that. Like I said, I put the link in the chat, man. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm gonna put it in there again. I'm gonna go ahead and link this up here. Pin it up there. So I will replace the pin message. So we'll do that. Sorry about that. Okay. All righty. Appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. If we don't get anybody to pull up today, like, come on, man. I do this almost every week, and I can't hardly get anybody. I had Eric Smith pull up a couple of times. He's been the only one. Actually, I'll take that back. I think we did have one other person pull up. But, I appreciate you guys, watching me and listening to me. But I know you guys have your own thoughts and feelings. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'd love to have a quick conversation with you guys if you'd like to pull up for a little bit. But I'm extremely, extremely impressed with what I'm seeing from President Trump thus far. The fact that the other day he sat down, did a press conference, and, when he was like, when's the last time Biden did one of these, a press conference, and allowed y'all to ask questions and follow up questions. We hadn't had a president in office be able to do that. We just hadn't. So that was refreshing to see. I know, Zephyr, people are shy. There ain't nothing to be shy about, man. It's all family. It's all love, man. Nobody is gonna laugh at you or clown you or anything along those lines. Nobody's gonna do that. Oh, man. Yeah, it is awesome though, man. It really is. It really is. And I can't say it enough, man. Promises made, promises kept. Trump is setting a pretty high bar. Maybe we should do it in a Q&A format. Okay. We'll have to figure out. Maybe we can link up. The mods, if y'all the mods that are in here, shoot me an email. I want to add you guys to the Slack channel. And for anybody that would like to be a part of the Slack channel, if you join, go to Buy Me a Coffee, join the membership there. We have a Slack channel. For anybody to be a part of that, I'm on it on a day-to-day basis. You get a chance to message and chop it up with me directly. If you look at the link in the description box, it is in there. If you join as a member, you'll get an opportunity to be a part of. And actually, you know what? I'll open it up. Anybody that's a member, anybody that supports the channel, you'll get a chance to join the Slack group, and we'll make that happen. So, we got a couple people to pull up. All right, we'll start with Chuck here. Hey, Chuck, how you doing? Before you get started, man, one, I want to say thank you for pulling up today, and definitely appreciate you supporting the channel and watching the stream tonight. Let everybody know where you are tuning in from today.
Hey, Wise, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate your stream and all that you've done. I'm so happy that we've got President Trump in office. God knows we need him, and we just have to remember we have to keep up the fight, just like you said. We cannot rest on our laurels, because this past week is definite proof that the left is constantly digging and working at us, trying to turn the narrative back around in their favor. We've got them on the run, and we've got to keep up the fight, and that's it. I mean, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Chuck. Let us know where you're watching, where you're tuning in from.
I'm from Lexington, North Carolina.
Lexington, North Carolina, in the building. Is it cold down there? I mean, I heard you guys might have got a little snow or something like that down that
We
way.
didn't get the snow so much here. It did. We had like a little bit of a dusting the other night, but it's been very cold. Maybe about 20 degrees.
Oh, wow.
It
Yeah,
was
that's
down in
cold
the
for down
teens
there.
this morning, about like 12, 13 degrees this morning. So yeah, it's still pretty cold.
All right. Outstanding. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you pulling up. I got a couple other people to get to, but thank you for supporting the channel, man. Appreciate you, man. God bless you.
You too, Wise. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Take care. All right. We got Orlando. How you doing today, sir? Let us know where you're tuning in from.
I'm tuning in from Los Angeles.
Oh,
Actually
you're
at
out in
work
LA. All right.
Yeah, I'm in El Segundo right now.
All
You know, the
right. Appreciate you pulling up today,
weather's really
man.
beautiful out here, even in the midst of the fires.
Understood. Hey, it looks nice out there. I mean, you don't have a coat on, a scully or nothing. So appreciate you pulling
I'm
up,
at
man. What
work
do you
right
have
now
for us
too, though,
today?
but you know, taking a break.
Understood.
Well, you know, man, I mean, it's crazy here in California. You know, there is a lot of us conservatives here who want to change things, but I just can't believe how many people are still on that plantation you talk about, brother. I just can't believe it. So it's kind of hard, even in church, bro. I mean, even in church, you know. But you know, in church, it's a delicate walk in church. But you know, I love my brothers and sisters, man. But some of them are just still kind of, you know, I hate to say it, but ignorant.
Yeah, I understand that. I think a lot of churches are, you know, as my friend Celeste would say, in the customer service business, not in the preaching of sin and really trying to feed people and get people to do right and live upon the word of God. And that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem right now across the country when it comes to the different churches out there. Uh-oh, did we lose you, Orlando? Oh, looks like we lost him. We'll see if he pulls back up. Let me get Crypt Keeper Chuck in here. Crypt Keeper Chuck, how you doing today? Where you tuning in from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina in the building. I was just in South Carolina over the weekend, man. That's all right. How you doing today?
We got 5 inches of snow.
All righty. Okay.
I'm glad.
What do you have for us?
There, I want to get right.
All right. I didn't hear what you said. You kind of chopped up a little bit. Oh, okay. Perfect, man. I appreciate your service. Thank you for your service.
I want to say that I am glad that Trump is in there. We need him more than we know. God showed us the evil that can go on in this world, and now he's showing us the way and the light and the life.
Absolutely. I would agree with you 1,000% there. He's absolutely. And I've said this, you know, in the past, that the preference would have been for Trump to get the previous 4 years. But I almost feel like we needed these previous 4 years because I think a lot of us are getting complacent, or we have gotten complacent and not understand that the country that we have, the rights that we have, the freedoms that we have, our forefathers fought for, you know, we've gotten complacent and we forgot it, and we've kind of lost our way a little bit. And maybe we need to go through, maybe we needed to go through some of this strife over these past 4 years, just so we can get a full understanding and have some form of recognition or realizing that, hey, things were better, but I think some of us needed to feel. It's almost like having that kid, you know, and you're telling them, hey, don't touch the fire because it's hot. Some of us needed to feel the heat. And I think the country had a real awakening this past 4 years. A large amount of people. It's my personal opinion, though.
Well, a large amount of them see it, but they don't want to believe. But my problem with it is, it'd be greater for them to know that we just saw a bunch of evil, and God showed us that there's a way to get out of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you, Chuck, man. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Any last words for him? All righty. Thank you, sir. Take care.
God bless America. Bye.
Outstanding. All righty. Shout out to NPO Creations. This is a great time in America, especially for New York. It's a great time for America. It definitely is. It definitely is. Appreciate everybody that pulled up tonight, man. We actually had some people pull up today, man. I'm really happy about that, man. I enjoy getting a chance to, speak with you guys and chop it up with you guys. I enjoy that. So I'm gonna try to keep this thing going every Thursday, man. And pull up. NPO, we got to get you over your stage fright. I need you to pull up, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Actually, not even 5 minutes. 5 minutes is long. A minute or two, you can pull up, say what's up. I definitely like to, at least give you the opportunity to introduce your products and your business. And you're doing good things up there in New York. So I'd like to give you a little bit of shine, a little bit of spotlight. And I know you got something to say. I know you do. I don't know a New Yorker that won't give you a piece of their mind. So I know you do. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Appreciate everybody that joined the stream. Joined the stream tonight, man. Appreciate everybody that supported the channel today. NPO Creations, JDS Caporio. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. Shout out to the mods, T.A. Caskey, Zephyr, I think Renee, B, as well. Appreciate you guys, mind keeping things peaceful in the chat today. If there is anybody that is interested in becoming a mod, shoot me an email. There's an email down there. Use the admin_wise at ProTime. That is the best email to get a hold of me. I do ask that on the way out the building, if you could hit that like button, that would be greatly appreciated. Once again, I do appreciate everybody pulling up, man. Happy Friday Eve. This will be the last live stream for the week. We'll jump back on it next week. As I always say, keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. It is crazy out there, man. Good luck to all the NFL fans that still got a team in there. I've been down in the dumps. I couldn't even watch the national championship game on Monday because I just was done with football after Sunday's ball game. I was just done with it. But, shout out to the Washington Redskins fans. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagle fans. Good luck to you guys. Same, I can't say good luck to the Chiefs. I am pulling for Josh Allen and the Bills to win. I can't lie to you. I just am. I'm tired of seeing the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm tired of it. But make sure y'all hit that like button, share the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you are subscribed, make sure you turn those notifications on, man. Make sure you turn those notifications on, man. Hey, love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. Stay warm. I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the